What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to listen to some Brandy.
Please welcome Grammy award-winning singer.
Oh, say, can you see?
I like the breathy start. Sorry, pardon me. Got some mic noise. I really enjoy the use of breathy to start this off. It's the national anthem is a banger of a tune. And it goes really high, and it's epic, and yada, yada, yada. So that's why starting really light like this is really smart. Because now she's leaving a lot of room to grow dynamically. So.
Brandy.
So you can see her kind of crescendoing into a thicker sound. How do we get airy? There's one of two ways, okay? The amateur way is to blow your folds open. It's to use so much air that your folds won't adduct and you'll, right? And you sound like Godzilla if you were emasculated. This is the way to get breathy tone that's actually a lot more nuanced and you have a lot more control over. What it is you use so little air that your folds don't entirely adduct because it takes air to get your folds together, right? That's how your folds work. It's called the Bernoulli effect, science, all that. So by controlling how little air comes out, we're getting almost a quiver of a vibrato because it's so sensitive to everything that would happen with the breath. So we get a really, really good zoom in on her breath control just by listening to that vibrato.
What so proudly we hailed.
Notice how, as the sound comes in a little bit more, there's a little bit less of a quiver. This, for lack of a better term, the more volume you have, the more durable the sound. That's a really terrible way of explaining it. Basically, when you tilt your thyroid cartilage, your Adam's apple, right? You tilt this sucker, the folds stretch. And it is in this tilting that vibrato happens. The muscles that tilt the thyroid cartilage are not very strong. Air pressure builds up, and then this happens, right? That's your vibrato. So because she's not tilting it a lot in the beginning, what we're seeing is a lot more variance. If she tilts more, then breath won't affect it as much. But then she wouldn't get the effect that she wanted. So this is challenging stuff because she's performing the national anthem at the Super Bowl, right? So like any amount of nerves that affect the torso is really going to do a number on the vocals, right? This hootiness on the bottom is a really interesting choice.
And bright stars.
She goes hooty on sort of the bottom and then brings it brighter up top.
Through the perilous fight.
And that's interesting because when she gets to fight, it's not hooty. Nice. So her larynx is going up here, which is not a problem. You know, there's a lot of noise about, you know, lower larynx is better versus higher larynx. It just changes the sound. So she's raising her larynx here, which is very much part of the recipe for belting. You generally have a higher larynx, you know, a lot of good posture. Your cricoid cartilage tilts a little bit, thickening those folds, and you're just so gentle on the breath. And so we get a little bit of that. And then she tilts the thyroid cartilage in addition to the cricoid cartilage. What does that mean? What does that mean? Cricoid cartilage, boom, thickens the fold. That is how you get a belt sound. There's these fat folds, a lot of air pressure builds up, boom, and they oscillate like that. And that's what a belt is. But the human body's amazing. So you can get belt, you can get this tilt that fattens the folds, right? And then you can tilt your thyroid cartilage, which will stretch out the fat folds, which means you'll get a tremendous amount of power and vibrato. So that's why this sounds so epic.
flag was still there.
Now she's adding some sumptuous qualities to her singing, to her voice. The thyroid cartilage, when it tilts in combination with the lower larynx, elongates the vocal tract, which gives us lower sumptuous tone. So if I go ah versus ah, right, I'm going to get a way different sound. Now that's obviously a little extreme, but she's playing with it subtle, right? We have incredibly powerful belting.
Through, oh, say does that star
And then we're going back to the brighter vowels with the higher larynx.
spread the free
Gorgeous.
and the
That was really, really, really nice.
free.
I love that little crack, that little thing she did on purpose. That. Aspirate, so it's interesting. When you use an aspirate, right, we talked about how the folds come together with the Bernoulli effect, right? If you stop and then use your aspirate, you can blow the folds open for a small smidgen of a second. And so by putting that H in a puff of air, blowing your folds open, and then quickly adducting them, you get that kind of like glottal stop sound. And it's a really, really subtle and nice way to kind of add an attack, which is a terrible word for singing, like an onset, the beginning of the note. It adds a little bit of a start and stop, a very clear start and stop. Right? That phrase is a lot more interesting because of the emphasis on home.
Thank you.
Nice. Good for her that she got that.